Me. 31-year-old woman sitting in a therapist's office again, flipping through old pictures on my phone. Barely recognize that girl anymore. Keep asking myself where she went. How everything spiraled this badly. This is how cosmetic surgery wrecked my entire life. Started around age 23. Always hated my nose growing up. Had this small bump that I obsessed over, finally saved enough cash for a nose job. Spent months researching doctors, reading reviews, stalking before/after photos. Eventually picked one and went through with it. Recovery sucked. Pain, swelling, couldn't breathe right. But once everything settled, it actually looked amazing. People wouldn't stop complimenting me for the first time ever. I felt confident. Guys started noticing me more. Felt like I finally fixed myself. Thought all my problems were solved. That's where it really began. Started staring at my face. More closely. Noticed things I never cared about before. My lips suddenly looked too thin next to my new nose-booked lip fillers as soon as I fully healed. Lips turned out great, but then my chin started bothering me. Looked weak compared to everything else. Now 6 months later, got a chin implant. Recovery was rougher, but results looked good. Felt like I was slowly building the perfect version of myself. Every time I fixed something, I found something new wrong. Looked at my body. Next chest suddenly seemed small. Compared to my face, went and got breast augmentation. Went from a small B to a full D. Recovery was brutal. Couldn't move without pain. But I loved how it looked. After attention. From men went up even more. Felt like I was living the dream life. Then started thinking my butt didn't match the rest of me. Looked flat. Compared to everything else, spent months researching BBL procedures online. Found a surgeon in Florida who specialized in it, flew out and got it done. Worst recovery I'd ever gone through, couldn't sit. Constant pain. Miserable. But the results were exactly what I wanted. Finally looked like. Those Instagram girls started posting pictures non-stop. Followers and likes kept going up. Felt validated for the first time in my life, but my family started getting worried. Kept saying I looked like a completely different person. After 2 years, said I didn't even look like their daughter anymore. My boyfriend at the time started making comments too. Said he missed how I used to look. Called me too artificial. Broke up with him because clearly he didn't get it started dating guys who only cared about my body. Relationships were empty, short, meaningless. But I was hooked on the attention. Then I noticed my eyes looked too small now, so I got eyelid surgery to open them up. Then cheek implants to balance everything. Then a revision nose job, because suddenly the first one didn't feel right. Each surgery cost thousands, maxed out. Multiple credit cards, took out loans because every procedure felt necessary. At the time, sold my car just to afford another one. Moved back in with my parents to save money. They begged me to stop. I thought they were overreacting every time I looked in the mirror. I saw more flaws, couldn't ignore them. Got that fox eye lift to look more exotic. Like influencers, ended up with complications, infections, antibiotics, extra treatments. Scarring was worse than expected. Started wearing heavy makeup all the time to cover everything. My skin didn't look normal anymore, in pictures with filters. I still looked good in real life. It was getting harder to hide. Started avoiding friends and family. Every time I saw them, they'd comment on how I looked. Said I looked scary. Unnatural. Couldn't understand why they were being so negative. Figured they were just jealous. Went to another doctor for fat transfer to make my face look softer. Procedure went wrong. Left my face uneven and lumpy, needed corrective surgery. Immediately, didn't have the money, convinced my parents to take out another loan to help me fix it. They were crushed, but agreed correction. Somehow made everything worse. My face started looking distorted, completely unnatural. Still thought I could fix it. With the right surgeon, started hopping between doctors, blew through my grandmother's inheritance on revisions, nothing ever actually fixed. Anything, lost my job because I was always recovering or distracted. Couldn't focus on work at all, became obsessed with finding someone who could fix me. Started traveling to other countries for cheaper procedures. Each one came with more problems, got a severe infection after surgery. Overseas, ended up in the hospital fighting sepsis. Almost died, spent weeks there while my family sat next to me. That's when it finally hit me. Something was seriously wrong. Almost died, just trying to look better. Started going to therapy after that. Found out I had body dysmorphic disorder, explained why I kept seeing flaws everywhere. Learned surgery was never going to fix what was in my head, but by then the damage was already done. My face looked unnatural, almost like melted plastic. Couldn't get hired anywhere. People looked uncomfortable during interviews, lost all my friends over time. Family relationships completely strained from everything I put them through. Spent over $200,000 across about 7 years on surgeries and complications. Parents eventually lost their house because of loans. I pushed them into for my surgeries, all those procedures that just kept making things worse over time. Tried to fight back. Legally filed malpractice claims against a few surgeons, said they were negligent, careless, ruined my face. But lawsuits drag on forever, years of waiting, paperwork, stress, and they cost money. I didn't have any more. Ended up stuck in this loop with no way out, had to take whatever jobs I could get. Minimum wage, stuff, back rooms, night shifts. Anything where I didn't have to deal with people much. Wore masks constantly, not even for health reasons, just to hide what I looked like. Now terrified someone from my past would recognize me. Or worse, stare too long and figure it out. Tried dating again. At one point. Big mistake, guys. Either looked at me like I was something out of a horror story, or they were into it in a weird way. Like my messed up face was some kind of fetish. Both felt equally awful. That's when it really sank in. I wasn't just someone who made bad choices. I had turned into a warning story, the kind people talk about when they say, "Don't go too far." Started going to support groups after therapy, suggested it met other people dealing with the same disorder, same obsession, same regret. Some had stories almost identical to mine. One surgery turned into 5, then 10. Then a life falling apart piece by piece, realized this wasn't rare at all. A lot of people were stuck in the same cycle, but no one talks about it openly because everywhere you look, social media, ads, influencers. They all push surgery like it's some easy fix for insecurity. No one mentions how addictive it can become. Wish someone had sat me down back then, before that first procedure, and actually explained what could happen. How one small fix can turn into a chain reaction. You keep chasing this idea of perfection that doesn't even exist in real life. Now I spend my time warning people. Instead, speak at therapy groups. Sometimes tell them exactly what happened to me. How fast it spiraled. How it took everything lost. What I used to look like. Chasing something fake. Lost my family's trust and stability over validation from strangers online. Lost any sense of who I was trying to become. Someone completely different. And now I'm just sitting here, face ruined beyond recognition, bank account. Empty, thinking about how different everything could have been If I had just accepted myself back then, if I hadn't fixated on that tiny flaw, this kind of addiction is real, just like drugs or alcohol, but nobody treats it that way until it's too late. Wish I could go back and talk to my younger self. Tell her that the little bump on her nose wasn't a problem. It made her unique. Not broken, instead. I kept chasing this impossible standard through surgeries, complications, and bad decisions, and now I'm left with nothing. Look like something I don't even recognize, and all those years led to this. If anyone thinks surgery is going to fix their life, make them happy. Complete it won't. It just opens the door to losing everything you already had.